I was loud, and then I was a little bit late, and then I was eating. So I'm going to keep my video off while I finish eating dinner.
You sure? You don't want us to see?
I mean, yeah.
I'm just messing with you.
Would you like some chicken nuggets?
Hey, Rachel. All right, y'all.
Sure,
check this
I'll
out.
take your chicken nuggets and I'll raise you a group.
Thank you.
All right. You need to get James Pujols in the group too. And then Phil also, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. So the test is out. So what I would do is I advise you guys to print out the test. We do have a composite of all of the questions. And so we will probably get that to you guys sometime this week, but it's very important. Tonight. Okay. But it's very important that you guys meet with the captain of your group. And, so you guys can coordinate a time.
And Kina, you're still good about leading, right? Since I forgot to put you on
at
your
a bar,
your
whatever you guys do.
Yeah, I'm good. I got the email. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
All right. And who is that behind you, Kina, with the afro?
I don't know, but she was all right. She was a decent baller. I don't know.
Who
Somebody
is
said
that?
she could play. She cold as hell, ain't she? Damn.
I told her that was Cheryl Miller.
That girl cold. Damn, she cold. I don't know.
All right. So today are there any pressing issues that anybody else has? Anything that I missed, Jen, before we start and dive in?
Thank you to the 5 or 6 people that sent in your mechanics videos.
Yes.
Hopefully you guys got some feedback for, I think it was all ladies. So good job, ladies, about getting your video in. It's not a one-time a week thing. If you still want feedback, I guess we'll help you. It's a joke, guys. I know. If you have not been contacted by your leader for the test, reach out.
This stuff.
Kevin, you're breaking up.
Am I?
You are. Like, really.
Okay, hold on. It's got to be I'm upstairs in the thing. It's got to be my internet. Hold on. So Jen.
Yeah.
No? Okay. Okay, so we're gonna start presenting, and we're doing live ball, dead ball, correctable errors, and what else are we doing?
Rule 2.
And rule 2.
So, okay, Kevin or Kevin and crew, before you guys get started, they are gonna need you to have Kahoots. So just take a few seconds. It's an app on your phone. Just download it. You can offload it right after if you need to, but just download Kahoots.
All right. So who's up first?
Jocelyn.
That would be Miss Jocelyn. Also, if you don't have storage to download Kahoot, you can just play right from kahoot.it as well. It'd be easier and faster to use the app, but if you need to, the web version is also available.
All right, y'all, let's get smarter.
Okay. Jen, can you give me host privileges?
Rachel can.
Or Rachel?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You should be good to go.
Thank you. All right, can you guys see my screen? No?
Nope.
Once you share it. There it is.
Now can you see it? All right.
Yes.
So we are going to partake in a game. It's more for conversation, but before we discuss the game, I do want to make it clear that we're not going over these as if we were using a monitor, and then we're going to do everything we can to stay away from what was it, Kevin, that we said, penalties, like how we would adjudicate it.
Right.
So, because it can get later on in the game. So let's try to stay away from that. So the game is called Aristocratic. It is, if my computer will work. Sorry. Try that again. All right, sorry, I lost my presentation. Let me try again.
So real quickly on the test, there are, if anyone has not played with it or downloaded or anything else, there are 50 questions. They are random to the person. There is a bank of questions of approximately 150. The one that we have compiled only has 100 and maybe 32. So if you do get questions that is not on this bank, be prepared to answer it. If you have to take the test again a second time, you will not get the same questions.
Exactly.
Yeah, without further ado, Jocelyn, it's all you.
Okay, can you guys see a screen again?
Yes.
All right. So this game, it's where you will all have an opinion, even if you're wrong. So this is actually going to help us communicate with partners. Something that I was always told was to invite yourself to the game, or invite yourself to the party. And so that is exactly what we're going to do. Kevin, I am going to ask you to call on people because I can't have the names up when I bring up each slide too. So on this first question, we are going to ask you if the AP arrow, when the ball becomes live, do we use the AP arrow? Kevin, do you want to select somebody?
Yeah, Nick.
All right, Nick. A1 passes the ball to A2. While the ball is in flight, the coach calls for a timeout, and the official grants the timeout before A2 catches the ball. When the ball becomes live, do we use the AP arrow?
No. So you grant a timeout. Well, first of all, you'd ask if they still want it, even though you shouldn't have granted it. They get the timeout. They had team possession.
Correct. Nick is correct. All right. So question number 2, and then I'm going to throw in a little twist in here. So Kevin, pick another person.
All right, let's go with Keena.
All right, Keena. While A3's try is in flight, the official has an inadvertent whistle. Do we use the AP arrow?
No, I gotta travel.
It's in.
That's how you fix that. Coach, I got travel. We going keep that confused. Let's see. Tries in flight. Whistle.
No possession right now.
No, there's no possession. It's in the air, so there's no possession. So we have to use the AP. Yes.
Okay.
Then.
James, do you agree with what Keena said?
Don't like my travel.
Yeah, I agree. There's no
Okay.
team control.
Okay.
Good call.
All right, Kevin, pick another person, please.
Let's go with Alicia. Hey, Alicia.
Can I ask a question real quick before we move on?
You sure can.
So in that inadvertent whistle, if the ball goes in, since the ball is in flight, do we still need the AP arrow, or are we going with the team that was on defense?
You go to the AP arrow because there's no team control.
Anytime there's no player or no team control, we go AP.
Right, but we're still gonna score that if it goes, correct?
Correct.
Kevin, who did you choose?
I chose Alicia.
Alicia. All right, this one's for you. The ball goes out of bounds. None of the officials know who caused the ball to go out of bounds. Do we use the AP arrow in this situation?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, we do.
Unless
Alright.
it's unless it's in what time period of the game?
Under the last minute of the game. But technically, it's still go AP.
Hmm.
According to the rule.
Okay. Kevin, pick someone, please.
Let's go with Donna. Well, no, Donna doing her hair.
Sorry, can I ask a question? Jen, is there a time where we wouldn't use the AP arrow for a situation like that?
Team has possession.
Well, if the team has possession or it's the last 2 minutes of the fourth period or any extra period, you can go to the monitor.
But you have to have a call on the floor.
Correct.
So if you do not have a definitive call on the floor, then going to the monitor is no good. Then you would definitely use the AP.
Correct.
I'll make a call. Yes.
Right.
Yes, and
So you,
too.
right. Just pick a color. Pick a color and then go to the monitor and find out which one was right.
Other person, Kev.
Oh, I'm sorry.
On that one, it's gonna be, there have to be 2 or more people involved in that. It's tip, right?
Yes.
Go to the monitor.
Yes.
You don't just, you can't just
If you
go
don't-
on air ball. You just can't just go.
Right. Go with LaRonda Connor.
LaRonda. All right. So this is all we're wanting you to know is, will the AP arrow change? Okay, LaRonda?
Okay.
All right. So during an alternating possession arrow throw-in by Team A3 fouls B3 when the ball is at the disposal of A1 for a throw-in. Does the alternating possession arrow change?
No.
You said no. Okay. Levy, do you agree or disagree?
I agree. The ball, the ball's at the disposal of the thrower, but yeah, I agree. It's no.
The
Okay.
throw-in never ended in order for the possession arrow to change. So
Right.
it remained the same.
Okay. Pamela, do you agree or disagree?
No, I agree.
Why?
Okay, because the same thing he just said. Okay, so the throw-in hasn't completed. The ball is at their disposal. The alternating possession arrow does not change.
Okay. So what we're trying to do is to eliminate every option there is out there. So like when you're coming together in a group, you do feel empowered that you can tell your partner why or why not as well. Okay. So they are correct. Kevin, pick someone else, please.
Hey, hang on. Can I jump in and say one thing on that, Jocelyn? The way I was taught that is, I've been given the ball for my possession arrow throw-in. The fact that my teammate committed an offensive foul, and usually what happens is they set an illegal screen trying to get somebody open, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's penalty enough that my team got called for that illegal screen and we're going to lose possession of the ball. But it had nothing to do with the possession arrow. At least that's the way I was taught. The penalty for that infraction was we lost the ball, but we're not going to lose the ball and lose the arrow.
Right.
They're two separate things. That's how I was taught.
Can I ask a question? This is
If
Paul.
that clears anything up.
Yes, Paul.
So if the offensive team violates, though, they lose the ball and the arrow, correct?
That is correct. Kevin?
So if the offensive team fouls, they don't lose the arrow, but if they commit a violation on the throw-in, they do lose the arrow.
Yes. Rule-wise, once the Well, let me get through this part before I tell you guys the rule. All right, go ahead, Kevin.
Let's go with Joe Foster. What
All
up,
right,
Joe?
A3 fouls B3 after throw-in pass was deflected by B1. Does the alternating possession arrow change?
You guys can
Joe.
hear me?
Now
Yeah,
we
we got
can
you
hear me?
now.
Oh,
Now
you
we
can.
all right? Sorry about that. Yeah. So the throw in completed. It was deflected, so the possession arrow would change at that time.
My man.
You are correct. So on the AP arrow change, we do need to, when it's an alternating possession arrow throw in, we need to understand when the throw in ends. Kevin, someone else, please.
Let's go with Jen Washoe.
Jen, A1 throws the ball so that it enters the basket before touching another player. Does the arrow change?
No.
Actually, it'll be better. You'll have all the sound bites.
You said no?
No.
Okay. Frank, do you agree or disagree? You're muted.
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay, that's fine. Bobby,
I agree.
you agree that the arrow does not change.
Doesn't change.
Okay. Rachel,
I agree.
you agree that the arrow does not change. Okay.
Correct.
Does anyone think that the arrow changes?
I disagree. I think it should not change because, or I'm sorry, it should change because it's a violation.
Violation.
My man.
Who
My
said that?
man.
That was Paul.
Paul. Okay. Can you explain that? So like if you had two both your partners came up to you and said that the arrow does not change, how would you explain that to them?
I would just tell them that if the throwing team violates at any time on an inbounds pass on an AP, the arrow is going to change with the possession. The possession changes to the team that was, I guess you want to say, offended the other team, and then the team that violated also loses the arrow on a violation.
Correct. So we have to, on this play, the way that I had to break it down for myself was the fact that if you're out of bounds, can you score a basket?
No.
No.
Correct. So you cannot throw a basket on a throw-in. Let's make that clear. On a throw-in, you cannot score the basket. So the ball has entered the basket before touching another player. We have not, the ball was still, last status was out of bounds. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyone have questions on that one?
So in that situation, of course, I hope that I never see something like that, but in that situation, right? That basket does not count, correct?
Correct.
Correct.
Okay.
All right, so this is extra, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, last question, Johnson. So basket's not counted, and Team B would get the ball at spot of point of interruption.
That is correct.
Okay.
And then we will change the possession arrow.
Okay.
Kevin, this is a big question, and I could not find a case play for it. It was just a play that came in my head. So don't say so pick someone.
Let's go with Bobby Ray.
All right, Bobby. It's the extra credit question.
Shopping for shoes over here, damn it.
Oh, my fault. We'll go with
Quick.
Keena.
I got you.
All right.
I'm messing.
Are they Cole Hines?
All right,
Nah.
Bobby.
Look for some golf shoes. All right, go ahead.
Oh.
All right. During an alternating possession throw-in by A1, B1 breaks the boundary plane. The official issues a delay of game warning to Team B. The officials are notified that this is Team B's second delay of game of its kind. Does the possession arrow change?
No.
Why doesn't the possession arrow change?
They got technical foul. I'm shooting 2. I'm guessing.
Phil, do you agree?
A is not going to lose. A is not going to lose their chance to have the alternating possession because of B's problem.
So we're going to go ahead and shoot the free throws for the technical. Give them the ball. And then the next jump ball or held ball, they get the ball back, correct?
Correct.
A1.
Awesome.
Right.
There wasn't a case play.
Let's
Just a
go.
thought.
So I got it right.
Just a thought. All right. All right. So we went over the AP
Did I get it
arrow.
right? Did I get it right?
Kevin?
You did. You got it right. You can buy your shoes now, Bob.
Jocelyn, this is Larry. The key thing for all of us is when weird plays like this happen to just slow it down. Don't look weak and try to go too fast and just, come together and make sure we're on the same page type of a deal. I just have found in the past when something weird happens, somebody makes a quick decision. And I don't know if Kevin said it earlier, everybody's got to have the guts to come up to somebody and say, what'd you have there? Are you sure of that? And we don't look weak out there if we're just checking it. Now we can't do that 30 times a game, but we don't have 30 weird ones a game typically either.
Exactly.
Well, here's the thing. If you don't know, don't go. And when you do go slow.
Yep. Don't rush.
All right. Everybody write that down. That's the only saying you're going to get from me tonight.
Say it faster than that.
If you don't know, don't go. And when you do go slow.
And even if you know a piece, go. I mean, if you just know a part or a piece, I suggest go because you might spark it in some
conversation.
The conversation.
Exactly. All right, go ahead, Jocelyn.
All right, Shannon, this one's for you, okay? A1 is on the floor. She has clamped the ball with her feet and legs to bring it close to her body. B1 grasps the ball with both hands. 2 players from opposing teams are now in contact with the ball. Is this a held ball?
Yes.
Shannon, you said yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
A1 is on the floor.
When A1 grasps the ball, they travel with the ball.
Let's let her answer first.
I'm trying to picture this visually. So A1's on the floor. She has clamped the ball with her feet and legs. Yeah, I'd still say it's a held ball, but I'm thinking, is it? Well, I guess it may have to be both hands. So instead of legs. So I'm just wondering now if it's because it's her legs and then the B1's hands, if it wouldn't be.
Okay. Caroline, you're her partner on the court. What do you have?
Okay, whoever is not muted with that other conversation in the background, could you please mute yourself? Thank you.
I would say it's not a held ball just because the player doesn't grab it with their hands.
Okay.
That's what, so if they're clamping it with their feet and her legs, it'd be illegal.
Mm-hmm.
So if with anything with their feet, wouldn't that be like a kick violation?
You are 100% correct. You're 100% correct because, okay, if you go to the held ball, where it talks about held ball in Rule 6, it talks about that for a held ball to occur, it has to be with the 2 hands or both hands.
Mm-hmm.
If we call this a held ball, we miss the kick ball. So Caroline, you are 100% correct on that.
Okay, i.e. guys, a kick violation by rule is it's an intentional act. So if they intentionally grab the ball with their feet, that's an intent their feet, which would under the kickball, right?
It's not a kickball.
That's like running. That's not a kickball. Why not?
It's a violation.
It's a kickball.
It's a violation.
Isn't a kickball a violation?
What's the mechanic for it?
There is no mechanic for it. That's just it. There isn't one, but if they clamp it with their feet, it's a violation. It's not a travel, it's not a kick. There's no violation.
So to intentionally contact the ball with your foot is not a violation. You don't have to kick it down the road like a can, but to intentionally move the ball with your foot. I mean, we'll get off into definitions.
It's a violation. It's not a kick.
Okay. All right.
That's.
We're dealing with semantics, but I just want to know what are you going to tell a coach? I'm going to tell the coach kickball violation, and they're going to move on. What are you going to tell the coach if they grab the ball with their feet and we just say violation, and they're going to say, well, what did she do? And we're going to say,
yeah, they're going to use the feet.
There is a kicking violation, guys. The rule book 182 of the CCA manual. There's a kicking violation.
Yeah,
it's called kicking violation. And I agree. If a coach has a question, you have to go to a coach and keep yourself out of trouble and your crew. What did she do? What do you mean? We got a jump ball. What are you talking about? Oh, coach, there's a kicking violation. She used her feet to gain advantage of the ball. Kicking violation, and it's on page 182 of the CCA manual.
AR 259 also is almost verbatim to the exact play.
All right.
All right. So Pamela, this one's for you. A1 jumps for a try for a field goal. B1 jumps to defend against the try and touches the ball, then removes their hands, but does not cause the ball to remain in the shooter's hand. And the shooter, who has maintained control of the ball, returns to the floor with the ball in their hands. Is this a held ball?
Oh. A1 jumps to defend the try, touches the ball, then removes their hands, but does not cause the ball to remain in the shooter's hand. No.
No, it's not a held ball. Why is it not a held ball?
Because he only touched the ball. He didn't have any type of firm hand on the ball. The shooter still maintained control of the ball. So he just touched it.
Okay, you are correct. All right. We talk about being ready at the jump. Larry, this one's going to be for you, okay?
Okay.
All right. At the start of the game, the R is walking towards the center circle to throw the ball up to start the game. The official releases the ball. As the ball is in its downward motion and before either jumper has touched the ball, the U2 calls a foul on B1 for pushing A1. Is the ball live or is the ball dead at the time that the U2 blew their whistle?
The ball is live after it leaves the R's hand.
You are correct. So which brings us, and this is important because if scenario 2 happens where at the start of the game, the R is walking towards the center circle to throw the ball up to start the game. As the official is in its downward motion, she or he hears a whistle from the U2. The U2 calls a foul on B1 for pushing A1. Once again, we have to ask ourselves, is the ball live or is the ball dead at the time that the U2 blew their whistle? Because someone want to just tell me why it's important to know when the ball was live and when the ball was dead.
It's a levy. The ball is live when the ref throws it in the air. However, once the whistle is blown by U2, the play automatically stops. right? And also, there is no team control, but there's a foul on, hold up, I'm trying to read the small print. Official walks in, and pushing, okay, yeah, so the ball's awarded to, A1.
But the live ball is going to make it a simple personal versus the dead ball being a dead
Right.
ball.
Right.
So that is why it's important for us to know the live, when the ball is live and when the ball is dead, because we adjudicate things differently without going into the details of it. That is why it's important.
Hey, Jocelyn, I have a question.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So for the scenario on the first one, where the ball is considered live, do we count the foul, but then do we re-jump it? Or does the team that didn't get the foul, so team A, do they get the ball in their front court then? And it starts a possession off with them getting the ball because now the ball is live. So then it should go to the 28-foot line, right? In the front court.
So, Kevin, do we want to answer that? Because I know we weren't trying to get into the violations.
But no, that's a good question though. But yeah, because the ball is live, you have to adjudicate the foul. So the ball is live, there's a foul call. So the foul is called on B. So that means A1 gets first possession at the 28-foot mark. And the AP arrow would then go to
B.
B, right. That's a really good question.
And then
that's
the shot
the
clock
answer.
will stay at 30 because technically no time ran off the clock. So you would have the clock at 10, the shot clock at 30, but team A just gets the ball in their front court.
There you go. And then you're gonna have to warn a coach. So just be ready. Be ready for all of that.
All right, question.
Yes.
So why is this just automatically going to the 28-foot? Where did the foul occur?
The foul occurred right before the tip. So the official.
Well, no. Where did the foul occur?
It depends on where. I think it depends on where it happens. If it's in the back court, say it's something down the, I don't know, top of the key or on the back of a circle behind the jumper, you'd go
to the back court.
Right. If it's going in the direction that the team would be going, if they won the tip, then I could see, all right, there's their front court, and you got to decide which is their front court, which is their back court, correct?
Right. So
it's where the foul occurred. It's where the foul occurred.
So it's with Jamesia's example, with her situation, with her question. So front court foul. If the foul occurs in the team's front court, if B1 pushes A1 in A1's front court, they'll take the ball out at the 28-foot mark.
Correct.
If B1 pushes A1 in A1's back court, they'll take the ball out at the spot nearest the foul. Correct?
Correct. Yep.
Right? Good with that, Bobby?
Yep.
My man.
All right. Kevin, go ahead.
Where'd your screen go?
I know. Kevin, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I have a
question.
So on the last scenario you gave, you said the official was in their downward motion. So the official hadn't released the ball at the time the foul was called.
Correct.
Okay. I was just, because the way it read, it confused me a little bit. I'm good.
Okay. So we have, so she touched on, thanks, Jocelyn. She touched on AP arrow, and she started touching on live ball, dead ball. So there are 3 situations when the ball is live. And she touched on when the ball leaves the official's hand on the jump ball. When else is the ball live?
Disposal of the throw-in.
Disposal of the free thrower.
Disposal of the
throw-in and the disposal of the free throw.
Of the free thrower.
All right, so those are all 3 live ball situations, right?
Correct.
So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 situations 6 situations where the ball is dead. And what are those situations?
After a goal
After a
is-
goal,
When a goal is
after
made.
goal,
Violation.
Okay.
following a free throw.
Free throw's not successful.
Time expires or extra
Time
period.
expires.
Okay.
Held ball, ball
Held
lies
ball.
between the rim.
Official blows the whistle.
Okay. The official blows the
Time
whistle.
Expires for a period or extra period. When the time
Okay.
expires for a period or extra period.
Okay.
Held ball.
A whistle for a foul or violation.
All right. So anytime the referee blows the whistle, ball is dead, correct?
Right.
Ball go, when it's in flight, right? The official blows his whistle when a foul is committed by a shooter's teammate before the ball is released. The ball is dead. When the official blows the whistle, except when the try is in flight, the ball is dead. Right?
Right.
Okay. So it's important.
So, yeah,
it's
it has to-
important for us to know that. It's important for us to know when the ball is live, when the ball is dead. One, because our whistles mean different things at that time. If we call a foul when the ball is dead, the penalties are totally different. If we call a foul when the ball is live, the penalties we adjudicate it totally differently. Now, this was a part of the rule book that honestly I just started learning, and it's correctable errors. Correctable errors to me means that we didn't cross our T's, we didn't dot our I's. At some point in time, we lost focus, all right, because we do have correctable errors. And because it's in the book, that means it happened somewhere before, right? So what are our correctable errors?
Awarding an unmerited
free throw
free
shooter.
throw. Player shooting a free throw at the wrong basket. Erroneously counting or canceling a score.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say wrong shooter. Allowing the wrong person to shoot.
Not awarding a merited free throw.
Free throw.
Right. So all of those things, we can communicate and get those things right, correct?
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? That's why it's so important. I mean, Natasha, we joke with Natasha about it, but I mean, the biggest help Natasha says is, I got your shooter, or she asks, who's your shooter? That makes us think. You understand what I'm saying? So then the wrong person won't go to the line. And also by her saying, who's the shooter? Now we know that we're shooting free throws. Correct? Yeah. Now, we do have a time frame for when we can and cannot correct these errors. All right? So I'm just going to read it from the rule book because, like I said, the big thing about this is crossing your T's and dotting your I's. So when the officials err in one of the above, all right, when it's made, the game clock is stopped, we can recognize all of these and correct it by the officials during the first dead ball after the game clock has properly started. All right, so scenario one. All right, we have A1 gets fouled by B1. We're in the penalty situation. We give the ball to A1 out of bounds instead of giving them free throws. All right. When can we correct that error? So we're in a dead ball period. They bring the ball in. So they bring the ball in.
By the next dead ball.
That's the first live ball.
Ball.
So you have to correct it before the second live ball. Okay.
It's an exception to that too, but I don't know if I wrote it down.
All right. So let's say A1 gets fouled. A1 gets fouled. We don't give them free throws. We give them the ball out of bounds. They score. Ball goes through the net. We give it to them. They score. Ball goes through the net. Dead ball, right?
Yeah.
Ball is dead. Can we correct that error after that? And then B1 brings the ball in.
No.
So now the ball is live.
No.
Nope.
Not
No,
once it's
cannot.
Got to be done
No,
during the first dead ball period.
First dead ball.
And exactly. So
Hey, Kevin. Can you hear me?
yes,
Just backtracking a little bit.
I can hear you.
Okay, so just backtracking a little bit.
Okay.
That's why you have really 6 set of eyes on the court. And a lot of times the table will bail you out. If you have a good table, right, they'll catch that.
They will.
They'll catch that. Also, the person keeping the book, on the team's bench. So sometimes you get bailed out by scorer's table or the team.
You know,
In certain situations.
That's true, but to piggyback off of that, so last week we talked about how important mechanics were, right? And the mechanics tell the story. So if you give in your mechanics and you say 13 hit and you say side out of bounds, and it's supposed to be 2 shots, the table will give you 2, right? Let's say coronavirus, so the regular people couldn't come. So now we got from intramurals, Ted, we pulled Ted out of science class, and we got Rollo from the corner store. You know what I'm saying? So what do we do in that point? I said Rollo. So what do we do in that instance? I mean, we still have to know when we can and cannot correct.
I agree. But like I said, I've had instances where, I've been in a game, but I've had a good, crew at the scorer's table too. Because times when I've been to R, when I pregame the table also and say, hey, you are part of this team. So help us out if we make a mistake. And at times that has happened. So that's why I was just saying sometimes, the scorer's table may bail you out, but it's still the responsibility of the entire, 3-person crew though too.
Okay. So here's the question. So now we're in a correctable error window. So we have, all right, A1 gets fouled. We don't give her the free throws. They take the ball out of bounds. They turn it over. B1 goes down. B1 scores. All right. B1 scores and gets fouled. There's an intentional foul on B1 when she scores. So now where are we? Not really. Mess. It sounds messy, but it's really simple.
You gotta find it right there.
You have to find it right there.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have to rectify that. So how would we adjudicate that? Because we have free throws that we didn't merit free throws, and we have an intentional foul down here.
You cancel the score.
Shoot free throws. Shoot the free throws, and then come back and do the intentional foul, and then take the ball foul half court, right?
To the division line. Correct.
Kevin,
yes,
Kevin,
James.
Don't we cancel the points or no?
No.
Everything is nullified except the intentional
foul.
Everything is nullified except for the intentional foul. Thank you, James. So now, so we would penalize the intentional foul, so they would get 2 shots in the ball, but they wouldn't get the points.
And the lane lines are cleared. No one knows.
Exactly. Lane lines are clear. All right. So that went to my next question. What's nullified? What do we keep in our correctable window? What do we keep in the game?
Only the intentional.
Only the intentional. Anything unsporting, anything that's not basketball, that's what we keep. Everything else in that correctable error window can be tossed away. Does everybody understand that?
Mhm.
All right. Now, do you see the importance of staying focused? Because when you're not focused, you just add a bunch of shit to the game. And then you're sitting there guessing.
All right.
All right. And it's very important that during this time, if you have to like, okay, 1, 2, 3, if you got to do that, then do it. I've had 2 correctable errors in my career. And the first one was with Denise Brooks and Dee Candler. So it can happen to anyone. But the 3 of us, we did not award free throws. And we go down, and it was that scenario. A1 gets fouled by B1. They take the ball out of bounds. They miss their shot. We go down. B1 scores. Denise hits her whistle, and she was like, wait a minute. I think we did something wrong. And that started the conversation. So there's no proper way of saying, hey, we're in a correctable window. If it doesn't sit right with you, kill it. Ask a question. All right. There's no such thing as a stupid question, especially with something like this, because now if we don't ask the question, now that sends us down, a rabbit hole, and now we're stuck. And now we got to talk to supervisors, and now we got to talk to, a bunch of other people because we did not know the rules. You guys got it? All right. So what happens if, and can coaches appeal for correctable errors?
Head coach.
Yes.
The head coach.
If they're wrong,
All
it's a charge timeout.
If they're wrong, it's a charge timeout. But what's correctable though? If they say, hey, you didn't give my girl, the right person, a free throw. And next week we'll talk about, there are some correctable errors that we can actually go to the monitor for. And next week, our guest will get into that. But these are the things right here. So permitting a player to attempt a free throw at the wrong basket. That's just a lack of focus. But it happened. So in that instance, what do we do with that? We catch it in the right time. What do we do if we have them shooting at the wrong basket? Natasha, can you help me with that? Hey, Sunshine.
What's up?
Can you help me with that? If we
Go ahead.
we shot at the wrong basket.
Well, the first thing is it depends on what half it's in.
Okay. So first half, we shoot at the wrong basket. We come out of a timeout. Yes.
If we shoot at the wrong basket, I'm probably overthinking this just because I'm really tired, but if we shoot at the wrong basket, in essence, we would just go to the correct basket and either, we're not going to reshoot them.
No, actually, we would.
Okay.
We would, because we're in the window.
Right. I was thinking that we already had them going the wrong way in the first half. So anyways, you just flip them and then all the points and everything scored is good. But if it's just this scenario of shooting at the wrong basket, you have to go down to the correct basket and have them reshoot them if you realize that. The biggest thing is your partners need to assist you. If you see your partner starting in the direction, it needs to be, hey, are we shooting down here? And let your partner do that slow turn where they feel a little dumb in the moment and they walk down and we get it right. So when you have a correctable error, remember you always need to talk about what are you returning to. So part of that is if we have the wrong shooter or those things that needs to be brought up. Don't assume that your partner, for whatever reason in that moment, are going to remember all that. Just cover it regardless of who you're working with so you're all on the same page.
Yeah. And if you don't know, I know I'm not the best at teaching correctable errors, and I do apologize to you guys about it. But It's just about asking a question, do things to prevent correctable errors. I would much rather have a partner that takes 15 seconds to say, hey, Kevin, are we doing this right, to start a conversation, as opposed to not saying anything, just going along to get along. Because correctable errors don't fall on one person. They fall on the entire crew. So we all have to know the shooter. That's why the mechanic changed to where we have to point and identify our shooter to our partners. I don't know if you guys realized how that mechanic has changed. Maybe some of you haven't, because you're just starting, but we never used to have to do that. But for some reason now they want us foul, 13 is my shooter, and we have to identify that to our partners. All right. And that will stop also from, permitting the wrong player to shoot the free throws. So what do we do in a situation where the wrong player shoots the free throw, Frank?
Well, hold on. I'm still hung up on one other thing, because I had a question I want to ask. Because several of y'all said nullify everything except if it's intentional or disqualifying. So I want to know where I'm getting hung up on the book here, because 212, Article 4, and Article 5 both say points scored, time consumed, and additional activity that may occur before the recognition of an error shall not be nullified. So what am I misinterpreting?
The situation that they were talking about was the failure to award a merited free throw. And then it went back down and there was an intentional foul. And then they realized that they didn't award the free throws. So in 212.5, it says, unless the correction involves the failure to award a merited free throw. So that's the only situation where those things, I think, my understanding is that's when they are nullified.
You got it?
It's actually 4 and 5 in both of it's the free throw in each one, either a merited or a wrong basket.
Or a wrong basket.
Taken away.
But we said that the basket was good and we would nullify those points.
On the intentional. So you would score the intentional. You would score the points on the foul. Points, time consumed, should not be nullified. Frank, you're right. You're right on that.
So the basket should be good, and then we adjudicate.
And then we adjudicate the intentional.
And then point of interruption is the unmerited.
No, point of interruption, because now you're adjudicating the intentional. So what's the penalty for the intentional?
Intentional should go last 2 shots and the ball.
Right. So the point of interruption was the last whistle that caused the dead ball. And that was the intentional foul. So that would be your point of interruption.
Yes.
All right. So now that's a good conversation. Thank you for that. Another thing that's really important is knowing how we're going to resume play. Correctable errors usually go point of interruption, correct?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes. But it's very important to know how you're going to resume play. So in the conversation as to, hey, we did something wrong. Okay, what did we do wrong? How can we fix it? And how do we continue play? All right. Those 3 questions have to be answered before you get away from your partners. What did we do wrong? How can we fix it? And how do we resume play? All right. Because if you don't resume play the right way, you will really get in trouble. Then we just compounded on the fact that we did make a mistake. Is that kind of clear to everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please say if it's not, because I did a horseshit job of teaching this. Please, you guys are okay with it? So, I mean, the moral of the story is cross your T's, dot your I's. Ask a question. If you don't know, ask. If you're unsure, ask. If something doesn't sit right with you, ask. Say, hey, are you sure we're shooting? Are you sure 13 is the shooter? You know, are we going the right way? Now we can't, once we give the ball to the wrong team with the AP error, we're just stuck with that. That's not a correctable error. But hey, are we in the bonus? And then if you don't know, like Levy said, ask the table. They'll help you out. In most crews, they'll help you out. Even Rollo from the corner store, he'll help you out too.
My man, Rollo.
All right. So are there any questions concerning live ball, dead ball, correctable errors? Everybody's cool so far. Silence, crickets. We can move on. All right. Hey, Phil. Okay.
Hey,
so
Kevin.
now Leah is going to do some things right now. You ready, Leah?
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
All right. It's all yours.
Can I be made a presenter? I think Rachel, if you're still on, can you make me a presenter?
Un momento. I might have to steal it back.
So we're going to be playing a Kahoot. And if you've never played Kahoot, basically it's a speed quiz game that you're trying to rack up points. You get more points if you answer faster. And then at the end of each question, it'll show us who answered what and we can talk about it. Okay, I can share my screen.
Okay, first though, there is no prize for winning.
Bragging rights.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
about
golf balls?
it. But
You can't no sleeve of golf balls or nothing?
all right, yeah, you get a sleeve of golf balls. I give you a sleeve of golf balls. And nobody plays golf.
Okay, so in just a second, it's gonna pull up can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
How is the noise? Is it too loud?
It's good. So where it says game pin, we enter that number?
Yep, so you can either use, like Jen was saying at the beginning, you can either use this Kahoot app or you can go to kahoot.it. Kevin, can you give me a count of how many people we have on the call so I know when everyone is in?
You have 31.
31.
31. Goodness. That's a blessing, y'all.
That's a travel.
Tina.
Wrong answer.
Pinky toe.
I don't know. Matt Green on this too?
Someone do like left cheek.
No.
Okay, how many is that? 1, 2.
It's 22,
No?
23.
All right, thank you.
There's a counter
Well,
to
people. Oh, you're right. Nice. I see it. Thanks. Okay, we'll give maybe. Is there anyone
24.
on the call who's still trying to log in?
Yeah, Levy, I'm trying to log in, but bypass
Okay.
me and keep rolling.
Oh, you can't jump in halfway. So if you're gonna join, I want you to join at the beginning.
Yeah, I'm trying to get
We
in
just,
too. I
we
can't.
just pick a nickname or?
Yep, whatever you want.
Oh,
Yeah,
And
create your
Leah,
own.
you can share the link in the chat so people can just click on the pin.
Hey, Jamisia, you come up with a lot of good ideas. I'm going to use
Hey,
you.
I'm a teacher. We got to do this all the time.
Okay,
I
well,
don't
you
know how
want
to
to
get
share the
back to the
pen?
chat. Oh, there it
You
is.
want to share the pen, Jamisia? There it is.
What?
Hopefully that works.
All right, so we got 23 people in. Let's give them another minute, 2 minutes.
Yeah,
tops.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm having a problem with that, guys. I'm sorry.
How are we losing people?
They're changing their names.
Why are they changing their names? Come on, people.
Because we gotta get creative here.
Yeah, that's right. They saw a technical foul and that's a treble, and all of a sudden we can't use our real names anymore.
Right, except for Shannon. Shannon's like, I'm Shannon. Damn it.
I don't know why somebody didn't use Rollo.
Okay, we're giving it until 8:05. And then everyone who's in at 8:05, you get to play. If you're not, you don't.
Kevin, I feel like you must have watched a rerun of Sanford and Son here lately or something.
I did.
Oh, okay.
I did. I would have said Julio, but I didn't want to offend nobody. Or the GOAT.
Surprised there's not an and one on there.
Nice.
Is there anything on the screen that says I'm in, but I just see a green screen?
What's your name?
What's
your name?
If it says you're in, there's just you're waiting for it to start.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh. Like Kia say,
Phil-
let's go.
Let's go.
All right. Is there anyone else speaking out or forever hold your peace?
Too late. Let's go.
All right, we're getting started. Here we go. All right, this is about Rule 2, officials and their duties. So again, a question will pop up. Who has the authority to set aside official rules or accepted rule interpretations? Your options are referee, scorer, any official, no one. All right, the correct answer is no one. Do we have any questions about this one? Again, these are all pretty much verbatim straight out of Rule 2. But if we have any questions, definitely can entertain them.
Okay, I'm concerned. Who thinks that the referee can set aside rules except for interpretations?
I answered wrong, but I tried changing it. I misread the question, so I'm one of the wrong answers.
Yeah, I just read it too. I was thinking the elastic.
I was trying to be quick.
I was thinking elastic. That's why I put it.
Oh, you were thinking elastic. Okay, all right. So
Yeah, 'cause we brought that up last night, and that's the first thing popped in my mind.
Exactly. Okay, that's a good question. Let's move on.
Yeah, get all the points I can get. I'm going fast.
Yeah, so you can't change your answer, but that's why you get points for going fast and getting it right. So after that first one, whoever is technical foul, you're in the lead. Very nice. Who's technical foul?
They can't say.
Well, maybe they could if they wanted bragging rights, but all right, all right. All right, next question is true or false? Officials have jurisdiction within and outside the boundary lines no sooner than 10 minutes before start time.
Like I got all it's like, wow, now I got a son that's disconnected. And that's horrible. So now my job at this point is
somebody mute them though?
Please, we don't want to.
Okay, the answer is false. Who can tell me how many minutes before start time the officials have jurisdiction?
15.
15. Yep, that's exactly right. All right, next question. Oh, ooh, technical foul. You fell from the leaderboard. All right, Martin, you're on your way. How soon before each half does the official timer let each team know the half is going to begin?
3.
Yep, 3 minutes. It is their official duty to let the teams know 3 minutes before each half. All right. Oh, Raz D, very nice. Making some money moves. All right, during what time or times is it acceptable to practice during a dead ball? Yep, so yeah, so the only dead ball that you can practice during is when it's dead between halves. It's kind of a trick question, but that's the answer according to the rule book.
Very much a trick question.
I got sneaky on you. All right, this one probably shook up the leaderboard quite a bit. Nice. All
You got
right.
John Jr. over here. I'm just saying.
Wow.
Switching it up.
Oh, that's true. Right. She probably got John over there next to her.
Not true. Not true.
You should have had him play, Jen.
Go ahead.
All right,
Haters
next
gonna
question.
hate.
Who's responsible for signaling to the scorer that a possible correctable error will be reviewed at the next media timeout? Nice. Very nice, everyone. It is the responsibility of the official. All right. Okay, Shannon. All right, Martin, way to get back in there. All right, next question. Oh, sorry. Multi-select answer. When can the scorer use a sounding device to signal the officials? Three seconds, get your answers in. All right, so the two correct answers, this is Rule 2, Section 9, Article 15. When necessary, signal the officials with a sounding device, unlike that used by the referee and umpires. The sounding device may be used immediately when the ball is dead or is in the control of the offending team. So those are the two correct.
How many people actually knew that?
Only got half of it.
Okay.
These are tricky. I have to say, I went through Rule 2 on Kevin's advice and found anything that I didn't know or that was unique and I'd never heard of. So that was definitely one of them.
John knew it, Kevin. John knew it.
Of course.
All right, next question. True or false? The scorer can use the game clock horn to signal when a correctable error has occurred during live ball play. Correct. The answer is false. So the majority of people got that one correct. All right, little shake up in the board. No, Shannon's still at the top. But I think
Shannon's cheating.
I literally just read this rule today, so there's.
All right, and I'm not going to throw Keena under the bus, but that's a travel. You're doing pretty well. Okay, next question. How many seconds before the expiration of time to replace an injured or disqualified player should the warning horn sound? Okay, and if you guys aren't kind of jamming to this music, you're crazy. Yes, it is 15 seconds. Which for replacing a disqualified player, you only get 15 seconds, and replacing an injured player, you get 20 seconds. So the horn always sounds at 15, regardless of how long that time period is. Ooh, JW, you're on fire. That means you've gotten a couple right in a row. Good job, that's a travel. True or false? The clock stops on made basket when there is 1 minute remaining in the game. False. Can anyone tell me what the correct answer is?
59.9.
59.9.
59.9. Hold on one. Okay. Yes, that's exactly right. All right, shaking up the leaderboard. And that's a travel. Nice. Maybe not, Kina. Okay. Quiz question. Multi-select. In what circumstance can a timer enter the playing court? So there were two right answers. So everyone who answered those two, you're absolutely correct. When the game clock horn fails, or when the red light signal or the LED lights fail, the timer can enter the playing court. Okay. Oh, that's a travel still on fire, but we got some shifting of the leaderboard. Gotta get speedy. All right, true or false? The shot clock resets to 30 when a single personal foul is committed by the defense in the back court. Nice. The answer is true. Very good, everyone, except this one person, but that's fine. Okay. Very slight movement. We're on a roll now. True or false? The shot clock resets to 30 when a single personal foul is committed by the defense in the front court. Nice. The answer is false. Can anyone tell me what it does reset to?
If it's
20.
less than 20 seconds, it goes to 20, but if it's like 20 or above, it stays.
So, question, the mechanic to it. If it's at 20, are you just gonna assume that it's the full 20 and you're not gonna say anything to the table, or are you still gonna ask the scorer to reset it to 20?
Reset it to 20.
No one verbalize.
Okay.
So the rule says reset to 20 seconds when the following occurs: a personal foul committed by the non-shooting team before the bonus is in effect in the shooter's front court. That is separate from the question that says reset to 20 seconds or the time remaining. When a single foul, yep. You're right. I was just rereading it. Very nice. Okay. Any shake up? No. All right, true or false? During an unsuccessful free throw attempt by A1, player B1 fouls A2. The shot clock will reset to 20. True or false? Okay, does anyone want to explain why they said true?
On missed free throws and the offense retains the ball, it goes to 20.
Does everyone agree with that explanation?
Yes.
Yep.
Great. All right.
Who is that's the travel?
That's Keena.
You can't ask, Kevin. Remember, it's supposed to be
You're right.
anonymous.
It's
You're
Keena
right.
2.0.
Why isn't it you?
It's not me.
Whoever wins can announce who it is.
All right. True or false? The shot clock always resets to 30 when there is an inadvertent whistle and no team or player control. Okay. The answer is true. Does anyone feel strongly about explaining their case one way or the other?
Yeah, it's true because if there's no team control, and that's happened to me in a game, so that's how I knew. So I knew we got it right, but that's exactly what it is. There's no team control.
Keena had that shit in the game.
Right.
Rule 10.
Nothing
Rule
like
10.
having
Keena had that
experience.
shit.
An experience will get you right. It'll blow your head off first.
That's Keena's rule. That's what that is. That's Keena's rule.
Rollo had
Have it
that
happen to you. You never forget it.
All right. Shaking up the leaderboard. Well, okay. If this was Keena, she didn't get it the fastest. So, L Slugger, I hope you take home the lead. All right. Last question. True or false? If the shot clock indicates zeros, but the horn has not sounded, the shot clock has not expired. Ooh, this is the closest 50-50 split that we've had so far. Someone who answered false. Explain to me what your thinking was.
Shot clock indicates zeros.
The horn could be on a delay.
There's still a second to go and hit zero. It still has to go all the way down from, if there's no point anything.
Okay.
Send my golf balls to me, Dillard, now.
I'm gonna send you a sleeve of Black
Pro
Lives Matter.
V. I need the Pro V, Tyler's Pro V 1. Let's go.
All right, they're gonna have Black Lives Matter all over them. I'm gonna send it to you.
I'll lose them just as good as any other ball too. So let's go.
Okay, someone who answered true. Explain to me why you answered true.
Because when it hits zero, there's still not, if there's no point anything on there, if it's just zero, there's no decimal point. There's still a full, not a full, second almost by the time it hits zero and the second expires. It could be 0.99 or 0. Whatever.
Right.
Violation technically doesn't occur until the shot clock horn sounds.
Horn.
That's the rule book way to say it.
Well, nice.
So that was really, really good, Leah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, now we get to see who the final winner was. Here's the podium. In third place, That's a Travel. You don't have to reveal yourself. In second place, JRG. And in first place, dun, da, da, da,
I demand a recount.
L Slugger.
You want to recap? So you're not gonna give over your peaceful?
No, I'm not giving up, man. That caused a scene. And by the way, it wasn't Keena. That's a Travel.
Who was That's a Travel?
It's Paul. And you know what? You know what knocked me off the leaderboard is I got the Keena question wrong. Damn it.
So
the mail-in vote hasn't arrived yet.
Dillard,
that's all I have, Kevin.
Will be ones soon. Get it.
I got you. I'm gonna go get them tomorrow. Leah, are you done? That's it, Leah?
Yep, that's all for me.
Leah, that's it? Oh, okay.
Yep,
Very
that's
nice,
it.
Leah.
Very nice.
We thought that it would be a little different. We can look at plays all day, every day, but a lot of times we just don't sit and talk about stuff. And I think Jocelyn and Leah did a really nice job of presenting and sharing their knowledge with you guys with the games. And hopefully you guys learned something different today that you didn't know yesterday. And it forces you to get into the rule book just a little bit more. So
Hey,
that
Kevin?
was really, really good. Yes.
Hey, Kevin. Hey, going back to correctable errors, we see so many videos on plays. I've never seen a video highlighting a correctable error. You know what I mean?
and I looked for them. I looked for them, but it's kind of hard to, because it's just hard to. They're just few and far between, and when they do happen, nobody videos to be like, oh, that was a correctable error. You know what I'm saying? It's not like unless it's something that we can go to the monitor for. You see what I'm
clips are
saying?
probably
So that's why I was kind of
2 minutes long to go from when the correctable error occurred to getting through all the periods of time where you could correct it. Be a long clip.
Yeah. So, does anyone have any questions about anything you heard this week or last week? No questions. Concerns? Comments?
I just like to say I appreciate Jocelyn for adding me to the group. I've learned a lot, and I hope that you allow me to continue. And Jennifer, may I have your actual email address? I can send you my email address so you can pair me up with a group.
I'm going to put it in the chat. So I think there's also Jamesia. You need to be added.
Yeah.
And anyone else, I'll put it in the chat for you.
Okay. All right. And so this evening, Jen is going to get you guys.
Already done.
KD, I have a comment, a serious comment.
Go ahead, sir.
No, just takeaways from the night, in all these situations, talking about correctable errors and awareness is, just be aware. No foul counts. Have an idea who, what player has what fouls, what number of fouls, and always, if you know those type of things and have an idea, sometimes we can eliminate getting in these situations where, the table, because the correctable errors that I've seen or heard about has generally been because maybe a team's in the bonus, but they have 3 on the board and the table doesn't tell you until, it's too late. Or a lot of times that happens in lower level games, like the NAIA level, or, cause Kevin says, they might have, a student or somebody, a substitute coming in, or any random person for that night, keeping score, keeping stats, or whatever it is that they have doing. But just increase your awareness. And I think Natasha said that first over here in the group chat, just trying to reiterate what she said out loud if anybody didn't see it. So
right.
Every time you're inbounding the ball and you glance at your partners, actually about 10 things you can do when you're just before you inbound the ball. 10 things to do during each dead ball. Glance at the clock. Make yourself aware of, where the free throws are, time. They might even have the person with the fouls, most fouls, et cetera, just to keep you in your mind in the game.
Mind in the game.
Dead balls.
Exactly. Because that's when, especially now, because we got so much other stuff to think about. Well, not to think about, but so many other things that can get our attention. Am I feeling well? Does that person have the virus? This mask makes me sick. I hate blowing my whistle because I can't hear it. I'm uncomfortable. Just so many other things around us that can affect us on the court. So it's really important that we maintain our focus and just a lot of self-talk. Leah, great job tonight. Jocelyn, great job. I appreciate working with you guys. So if nobody else has anything.
I do.
Okay.
Paul Furking Are you able to say hi?
I saw his name over there.
Yeah, it's Cody. But
Is
my
that-
dad's on another?
It's Cody.
Oh, hey, Cody.
Hey, what's up?
I thought it was Cody.
Tricked us, Cody. Are you trying to trick us? Make
Right.
a fool out of us, Cody.
Get your
What
own
up,
phone,
T?
Cody. Stop using your daddy's phone.
Nah, this is my laptop, but it's just how it works. Somebody's calling.
Oh, okay.
It's all right. Just know, Paul and Cody, welcome. As you guys go into games, I mean, if they happen this year, you never know who's watching. You never know who's listening. You never know who's in the building. So be on your best foot. And I don't think that Cody can give you games, but Paul might help. You never know. You also don't know if someone can say a really good word about you. That's gonna help.
I'll give him some.
Really.
What'd you say, Cody?
So, some references. Stop it. Let's see. So next week we have a special guest that will be helping us out next week. I'm not going to tell you who it is. You guys just tune in.
Don't miss. Don't miss.
I would not miss it if I were you. I really wouldn't. So we are going to tackle the monitor next week. So everybody's fears will be relieved next week, 7:00 sharp, because this person is very punctual. And you don't want to miss the presentation. If you guys have any monitor plays that you think the presenter next week will be interested in, please send those in by
Tuesday,
so we can get them to our presenter for next week.
And remember,
right.
It doesn't have to be from Division I games. Monitor plays happen in Division II games, Division III games, in junior college games. Just doesn't mean you have a monitor to use.
That's it. And it doesn't always have to be a fight, okay? We go to the monitor for other things other than fights and intentional fouls. It can be a last-second shot. It can be out of bounds. If the clock properly started, all the things we can go, timing and scoring, we can go to the monitor for. All right. All minds clear. Everybody cool?
Yes.
Let's see. So, who's new? Larry. Okay. After every call, Larry, we always end on a positive note, and someone has to give us a good thought or a good saying, a good statement to get us through the weekend, because these are some difficult times and we all need some positivity. So it's your turn. Thank you for joining us. This is your contribution.
Well, I heard from a very respected man earlier in the call when he said, when you go slow. So I think let's just do that with everything. Let's not go off on anybody. Let's take what we're doing and live everything at a much easier pace, which I certainly have had to do. So when you go slow, per the expert.
Okay. All right, guys. You guys have a blessed weekend. Thank you for joining us again. Hopefully you guys learned something.
Thanks, Kevin.
Bye, everybody.
All right.
Good job, Jocelyn and Leah.
Yeah, great job, guys.
everyone.
Great
All right,
job.
guys.
Bye.